45, justice for Tyrone West, and justice for all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Mic check. Yeah, so thank you, my queen. And I just wanted to say good evening to everyone. And as we so often do every time we're online, we play an awful video that we really don't like to play, or I don't like to see it. Because I definitely like to play it because people need to be aware about a serial killer named Ruiz, one of the first killer maniacs that started murdering my brother. But nevertheless, tonight we don't have any special guests. Tonight we're going to honor our beloved queen, Nicole Pettiford. When I found out yesterday was her birthday, it really broke my heart. And we will get into the life, the legacy of Nicole Pettiford as soon as we come back. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop. Won't stop. Till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No,
why would you say that? Why would you say that?
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly. Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get that.
The profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Hold on, sir. Do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record me. For what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What are you call a supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are two law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they can never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Awesome. So as I was stating tonight, this is a special West Wednesday, week 645, the life and legacy of a beautiful late Nicole Pettiford. And we recently lost this queen, within a few months into this year. I believe I want to say it was March, but nevertheless, we really, really missed this queen. And when I found out yesterday was her heavenly birthday, it really took me back. And just knowing her, knowing she was a mother, not only was she a mother, she was a wife, she was a friend, she was a freedom fighter, she was a warrior queen that not only fought, this is how beautiful this queen was. She had never met her father-in-law, and her father-in-law was Anthony Anderson, late Anthony Anderson. May he rest. He was killed by Baltimore City police officers as well a year prior to my brother. But this queen tirelessly fought for accountability, not just only for Anthony Anderson. She fought for other victims of police brutality. And then the saddest part, while she's fighting for accountability for Anthony Anderson, literally, within a week or two later, her Aja was killed, her 16-year-old baby. I wouldn't ever want to imagine a horrible, horrific pain like that. But even through her pain and her hurt, she still held firm and always stood for what was right and stood up for just everybody. And, we need to stand up and step up and just talk about her life. And I remember when I first met Nicole, I met her and I'll never forget. It was like I heard about Anthony Anderson's case. And when I met her and her husband, Marcus Pettiford, I went down, I'll never forget, we went down there right around where Anthony Anderson was killed. And that's when I met Nicole. And instantly, it was an instant connection. And just seeing how sweet and how real she was fighting. And then when she said she had lost her baby, strong. And it's just sad, like we be so strong for everybody, but then when it's time for people to be strong for us, we don't get that same type of love. And it's just sad. And it's just like, that's what a lot of women are going through. I know men go through stuff, but women, it's like we carry the weight of the world on our back. We push through things that people didn't think that it was humanly possible to push through. And we still do all of that, still be able to bear and raise our other children and do everything that we need to do. And again, it's just sad when it's our time, then who's there for us? But again, this is not about that. I just wanted to just highlight Nicole, and every time she spoke, people felt her passion. If you ever met Nicole, anybody knows that when we were out there fighting for accountability or whatever the case may be, this woman, this beautiful queen, this young queen had so many talents. Oh my goodness, like I never knew someone that could sing as though chills would run through your body with her singing. And then when I met her, when I introduced her to the Love Blood Foundation, Uncle Bobby and Auntie B, they connected with her immediately. And like she would sing for us during karaoke night. And the last time I remember seeing her perform, was last year. And when I say this queen shut it down, she was singing, What's Love Got to Do with It? So every time that I hear that song, all I see is Nicole singing and rocking. I'm kind of like, to the point, it was like she sung it a little better than Tina because she put like her little steps and moves in it. I'm like, okay, Nicole, all right, I see you, boo. Like she did that, And she just was amazing. And you would never know what somebody's going through, especially that they're not selfish, they're selfless, and with her being that way, being there for everybody, standing on the ground, she had her own things that she probably was carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders and would not do it. And I remember times where she couldn't even stand up because she might say, okay, I got pain in my legs, I'm pain in my body type of thing. And she would literally still come out to West Wednesday, rather she get a chair and sat in it, bring her own chair, but she would be there and she would share her beautiful song. And she made up a beautiful song. And it was so religious. It was so beautiful. And every time she was singing the song, and I can still hear her singing it now, it was all part of the plan, something along those lines. He had it all planned out. But just hearing her sing it, and I remember she would come to my brother's commemorations and she would sing it anytime I would ask her to just come, wherever we were, she would be there. And she like, if you get me a ride there, if I can't make it, I'm just like, literally, if she could make it, she would always be there. And again, just missed her. And I'm sending love to her family, her children, and everybody. It's just like sad because I know everybody is missing her like crazy. And and I couldn't imagine the pain. And I just remembered that the night before she passed, I'll never forget. She went on Facebook Live. She literally was on Facebook Live that night. And I remember that was the last thing that I saw because for some reason it popped up on my timeline. And I'm like, and I always would crack up. And I remember telling her one time, let me rewind it before the night before she passed away. But literally, I'm on one time, like, we was going to protest, and that's why I'm so mad, because this one guy that literally got so much of time from me, and I spent hours and months doing, like, he done came down to so many West Wednesdays, and he was a producer, and he was supposed to do a big documentary on West Wednesday and things like that. But in that, Nicole did some strong stuff, because he even filmed us in the car where she was singing, and it was just amazing. But anyway, but nevertheless, I remember one day early meeting her. Every time she get in my car, she always had a joke. And I'm like, girl, you need to be a daggone comedian. Like, what in the world? You be cracking up. She's like, you think I could do it? And then I was in shock. I said, look, babe, you could do whatever you put your mind to it. You could do it. She was like, I know that's right, queen. And literally, I'll never forget, like, after that, shortly within, I know I had to be within 60 days. She came back and she said, you know what, Tawanda? I jumped out there. I'm doing Patty Nation. I said, what in the world? I said, I know that's right. And she did a little stand-up, comedian shows. And she was always saying, and then she was being an actress. And she was like starring in like this documentary. And then literally the night, and that's why I be feeling like in life sometimes we can get robbed of all of our dreams. And it's like finally, like when you going, and I feel like I'm having a moment, and I apologize, but it's like when you close to that point where breakthrough is sometimes you break down, and sometimes a lot of us miss the moment of our life where we're supposed to be the most happiest, and we just miss it. Because I just remember literally, and sometimes like pain can take you there, you know. But I just found out that literally that night that she passed away. So to go back to it, and I'm sorry I'm scrambling, but her last post that she made for Patty Nation, which was where she always would share her funny videos and stuff like that. Nicole, you Patty. And then she be like, bye for now. And I always hear with this beautiful bye for now with that pretty smile. But long story short, that night she came on, and it wasn't in a joking way. So I'm like, that night I'm looking for a laugh. I'm like, okay, Nicole on here. Let me see what she's talking about. But it was serious. And that was the most serious post I have ever saw her make. And she said, you know, hey guys, I'm not coming on here, you know, like cracking jokes tonight, something serious going on. She was just like pretty much dedicating that post to her son. She said, you know, I'm praying for my son. I'm like, you know, son, mommy, love you. She said, I'm going to be there because he had just lost his dad. And she was like, she was praying for their family and stuff like that. And she was just saying that, you know, a wise person once told her, if we can't come together to laugh and share good memories, then God will bring us together to cry. And I was like, wow, that was so profound. And I went on to sleep. And the next thing you know, I wake up and I look at my email, not my email, in my Facebook. I got a notification from Facebook. And it said, Nicole has sent me a message. I'm like, Nicole hit me for like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm there like I just literally lied to you not. Got out the shower. You know, I'm lotioning myself down. I got my robe on. I'm lotioning my body down and whatnot. Get ready to put my clothes on and go out for work. And that's when I said, Nicole sending me a message. So I grabbed my phone. I heard the notification from Facebook. But then it said, Nicole died last night. And I'm like, man, who the heck did you her dad going thing? I said, man, people sick out here. So instantly, I'm like, let me call her husband. So instantly, I called Marcus. And I'm like, Marcus said, I'm like, man, somebody done hacked the page, this, that, and the third. And he was like, no, sis. He was like, she died last night. I was like, what? And when I say literally that news, and I thank God I was literally on the little bench, you know, by my bed, loosening myself down. I literally was stuck in that position, just literally dumbfounded, like so hurt, tattered and torn. And I called my boss from my old job. And I said, you know, I won't be able to come in today. I said, because I just lost a good friend of mine and I was crying my eyeballs out. And I'll never forget, I was there for hours. Like, I did not get myself together. And finally, around about like 1 o'clock, and I like literally got off of that bench and cried some more. And just putting on my clothes and just like literally jumped back in my bed and just was like laying there crying, like, what in the world? And I can only imagine, you know, the pain of her, you know, not only, you know, her husband who was there with her when the traumatic incident happened, you know, but and I thank God she wasn't alone, you know. So I look at, you know, when you're looking at bad things, I try to find good and even a horrible, most horrific thing, I try to find something good in it, you know. And I just thank God that she did not pass alone, but nevertheless, I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, not only am I feeling sorry for, you know, her husband, I was feeling sorry for her children. I'm like, oh my God, she's a mother. And I just met one of her beautiful children, her daughter, when we was out of town last year or whatever. She brought her daughter on a trip. But nevertheless, I was thinking about her. I was thinking about her sons. And then I was thinking about like, oh my God, literally just imagine you just lose your dad. And within 24 hours, here it is, your mom is gone too. Like, I'm still sending prayers to her son. Oh my God, like I'm sending prayers to her daughter. And when I seen her beautiful daughter post her mom picture, and it's just like, people don't know like the pain that people go through, but just so we won't get in sadness, just like, let's just look at the beautiful way that our queen was and the light that she shared, and she was selfless. and she always was there for everybody. So Nicole wouldn't want us to be down here sad and crying. She wouldn't want her kids to be crying. She wouldn't want nobody to cry. She would want us to be, still continue on fighting for justice and just doing what's right. So I just wanted to say, I love you, Nicole. Happy heavenly birthday, even though it was yesterday. But just because we're on live now, want to send lots of love and, a big, happy, belated birthday as of today. But I definitely sent you love on your page on yesterday. But that's just so sad. And this is like, wow. So I want to ask, and I know Uncle Bill had a couple memories. And if anybody else on here wanted to share a memory that they had about Nicole, that would be awesome before we go into the questions or the comments. And I wanted to thank my queen, Rachel, even though I can't see, but I asked her to share some pictures of Nicole. So and Rachel's always on it. And if she hadn't already shared it, I'm quite sure she's going to share it soon. But yeah, thank you, Rachel, for doing that. And also, anybody who wants to share, and Uncle Bill, I know you had some memorable times with her. And I'll give you a second on anybody that want to talk. Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check. Go first, or should I go ahead? Okay, well, I'll talk about Nicole for a while. I would say she was like in the West Wednesday work, this important work that we do. She was kind of my ride or die partner in many senses. Often she always liked the shotgun seat in our minivan. And until we got to a rally where it was time to be serious and focus on the fight against police brutality, she would be funny as all get out. She would keep me laughing the whole time. And she ate lots and lots of candy. That was almost her main diet till she heard she had pre-diabetes, and she cut back some, but she was, she was strong-willed about it. She wanted to keep getting that candy. But anyway, she and I and other people in the group that I'm in, called Progressive Labor Party, had a lot of trips. So we went, for example, to Washington, D.C., to the Black History Museum. We went to the Harriet Tubman Museum on the Eastern Shore. We organized a dinner in Druid Hill Park for May Day, and she helped set up all of that, and she was my right hand there doing that. She came to New York City on several occasions to the big May Day March, the East Coast May Day March there, and she spoke powerfully about her experiences, about losing her father-in-law, and about the struggle against police brutality in general. She was a very strong speaker. You could be joking with her 1 minute, and then it's time for her to speak, and it just came up from her heart, very strong, very angry at those who committed these racist attacks, and very empathetic with all of the victims and the families of the victims. She also came to New York to the convention of the Progressive Labor Party, and here's something that probably a lot of people don't know. At one point, she said to me, "Look, Bill, I was never a very good student, and could you tutor me in English?" And so I started off. We picked a day like once a week, and I would go around to where she lives, and we'd sit outside. It was really nice weather, and I picked some books that it turns out were much too simple and not challenging enough. And then I realized her skills were a lot better than she led me to believe, and she built on those skills very quickly. And she had to memorize scripts because she acted in the theater and she acted in the film, and so she impressed me with her capabilities that developed really rapidly. She was in one movie. I don't know if it's ever been edited and released, but she was in the film. And then on the very day that she passed away, an email came inviting her to be a key actress in another film, which unfortunately never could happen. And she had an endearing name that she gave me, which was Paw Paw, and I always appreciated that, making me feel like part of her family. And she would call and check on me all the time. So Nicole was a well-rounded person. She first thought that she wanted to develop as a singer. She later thought as a stage actor, and she finally settled on wanted to be a film actor. And there was the comedian stage before all that, which continued at the same time as the acting. So she was a very well-rounded, powerful, inspiring person, and I'm very sad that we don't have her anymore. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Kalia, you were on a number of the trips with Nicole. Would you like to say anything?
Nothing much at this point, just that I share the sentiments, that have already been expressed. I'm glad that I was able to know Nicole and see her, her funny side, her very passionate and serious side. And I'm glad I was able to, have fun memories with her.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yes, I don't know if you guys were finishing up or whatever, or were y'all calling for me?
Well, I spoke, and then Kalia spoke. I don't know if anyone else wishes to say anything about Nicole.
Okay.
Yeah, she
All
was.
right. Well, did Kalia go to the questions or comments yet?
No.
Hillary, I think
Okay, so we
Hillary
can go
wanted
to
to
the
say
question
something.
and comments unless anybody else wanted to say anything. Mic check.
Mic check. I was just going to say she was quite an artist. She tried everything, and that's something that is admirable, that especially with art, it's a way to give back to the community and also fill your own cup, and she absolutely did that.
True.
True. That's so true. That's so true. That's so true. Wow. But again, and I'm also, before we go to the question or comments, I wanted to say, like, I just remember her going into like the city council men and women faces and was like asking them real questions like, what if it was your daughter, your mother, your father type of thing? Like when she spoke, you definitely heard her and you felt her compassion, you felt her pain, you felt it. So yeah, we're just missing her. We're just really missing her, and I'm so honored that I got a chance to be such a beautiful person and share the memories that we shared. And it's like sometimes, and I'm not saying we take life for granted, but we literally don't know when somebody's gonna pass away type of thing. So I never would expect it. And when it hit me, because it wasn't like, oh, she was sickly or this real unhealthy person, and it just like, because everybody got some type of health issue. And there ain't nothing where it's could take your life, but you would never think like, oh, because it wasn't like she was this elderly person or, suffer from, like severe health things. We all got stuff going on, and as long as you stay up on top of it, but be to hear about it, it literally messed me up, So that's why literally I'm in the mind space now, and it's just sad because of so much happening. In the world, there's so much happening right now. You just never know. And that's why I always try to live my best life, And it's just like, and now it's like, as soon as I get happy, it's just like the enemy just comes for me. It's like, it's like the expression used to be, the enemy will take your smile off your face. It's like it's smacking your smile off your face. But it's just sad, and it is what it is. But I know at the end of the day, and it's not the West Coalition, this is Tawanda Jones speaking. I serve a mighty God. We serve a mighty God that sees everything. He sits high and he looks low and he knows everything that's going on and he will protect us. And I think a lot of stuff he's doing now with everything being, the way it is, he's letting his mark be known that, hey, this is me. You couldn't have made it without me. I got your back type of thing. So you can really know that it's him and not us or whatever the case may be. But I'll leave that for another day. But God is good. And no matter what I go through or what I face, I'm still believing and I know that he got my back. I might don't see a way, but I know God has a way for everything. So with that being said, I want to check in clear because unfortunately tonight, guys, I was told it's very disturbing that we literally have the police brutality list of 49 people.
39,
Human beings.
Tawanda.
39. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Well, 39, 49 is a lot. Like, it's horrible. Well, 39.
Yes.
Because I'm so used to it being in the 40s when we skip a week. I'm so used to it being in that 40 to almost 50 case. But now, literally, they have 39 people just lives stolen for no reason. It is no reason that someone or anyone should take somebody's life just like that. Just like that. But then it's just wild. So with that being said, let me check in with Khalil. And thank you, Khalil, my queen, for always being here, reading the questions or the comments and things of that nature. So let's just check in to see if anybody was sharing anything. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. We have first comment from Bruce Emmerling. Good evening, all. Mic check from me. Mic check from Maine. A mic check from Bruce. From me, I commented, I'm grateful that we can honor Nicole tonight. She is and always will be such a beautiful soul. Dan commented, rest in peace, Nicole. Her spirit was so strong that it always feels like she is still in our midst. Angela commented, continue to rest in peace, Nicole. And Descartes commented, rest in peace, Nicole. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. And thank you guys for all the comments and questions. And I'm so glad my sister Angela is on here as well. And she really made my day because she know I've been struggling with so much. And she just surprised me. And I come home the other day and son's like, Ma, it's a box here for you. I'm like, what? I ain't ordered nothing. So I'm like, we're going to open this house out, make sure this ain't no bomb. Let me kick that thing out of the room. I'm like, I ain't ordered nothing. I'm glad I ain't break my candle. So I had to crack up laughing. Sometimes you got to laugh through the pain. So I'm like shaking the box when she sent me this beautiful candle and this amazing keychain that I love. That's on my key ring right now. And it's beautiful. And I love my candle. She said she'll punch somebody in the throat from me. That made my day, made me laugh. And it's like, gift came on time because, like, literally, I was going through it. And after I got over the foolishness about what I thought it was in the box, and then I opened it and I see the beautiful thing. And I'm like, oh, that was so sweet. And just, like, literally, like, made my day. So thanks, sis. Got me real good. I appreciate that. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. And it's just like I said, it's just the love, the sweet things. Like, sweet things are priceless, and I just love that. I love that for us when we do sweet, priceless things, and I just want to give a big shout out and I just love you guys. Thank y'all for all the love. And Brother Bruce, it's good to hear you on here tonight as well because I think, matter of fact, when I met Nicole, that's the same day I met Brother Bruce and I met his sister Beth. Sister Beth. And I call her sister and I call him my Brother Bruce. So I remember meeting them. They were all in Anthony Anderson's house, mother's house. They were at his mom's house over there in East Baltimore. And we went down there and that's when I met them. And that's when I started telling them about West Wednesday, and sure enough, they came out. Because I was telling, like, when the media was trying to blow my brother's story up, I'm like, no, before you talk about my brother, we're going to talk about Anthony Anderson. We're going to talk about all the victims of police brutality and murder that came before my brother. And yeah, so just those memories. Is one thing about memories. That's why I try to make your memories as sweet as possible, you know? Try to make your memories as sweet as possible. And it's like, and I feel like Maine is reading my mind because I've been feeling down. And every time he sent me a message like, "You okay?" I just got finished shedding the fear, like, oh my goodness, let me find out he a detective or something. But anyway, love all y'all. Thank y'all so much for everything. And I want to check in one more time to see if we have any more additional questions or comments before we go into our community violence list, if we have one, and our 39 unfortunate stolen lives from police brutality. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
No new comments right now. Mic check.
Mic check. Also, before we go into anything, do anybody else want to add to or say any more about our beautiful sister, Nicole?
Tawanda, I'd just like to say that, I mean, as so many people have said about Nicole, she was a fighter, and she was a beautiful person. And I always thought I was going to get tired of hearing people sing, but I never did. So just fond memories of her on a hard day.
Thank you for sharing that, Brother Brian. Appreciate that. Thank you much. Awesome. So it seemed like all hearts and minds are clear. So we love you, Nicole. We love you forever.
Yep.
Nothing can separate the love. And I wish, we could have like a candle for you and set off some balloons for you. But at my brother commemoration, I'm definitely going to show you some love as well this year. So wish you was here, but you up in the sky looking at us and making sure we straight. So sending love to your family, kids, and everybody. So with that being said, I don't have the statement, but I will just try to read it myself. Not read it myself, but freestyle our statement. So first of all, before I go into the statement again, I want to thank each and every last person that has been tuning in, the ones that has been supporting in any and every which way that you have supported, and whether you are a weekly, donate, whatever the case may be, your time, some financial help, or whatever it is that you're doing, we appreciate you so much because we're not a nonprofit, we're none of that, and everything is just strictly through love, strictly through sacrifice, and no good deed is unnoticed. Like, I just want to thank all of the West Coalition for always having my back in the way that y'all have it. Like, blood don't make you family. Blood, is DNA, and that makes biological family, but you don't have to be blood to be a family member. And all of y'all my family, man. As if we were actually brought up together like I was, with my own family. So I'm just blessed to have you guys. And this is a club that nobody signs up for. So with that being said, it is the mission of the West Coalition to not only fight for accountability for my big brother Tyrone West, but literally to fight for all the victims of police brutality and murder. And it's unfortunately that we have no details about anybody involved in any of the cases or the names that we read. But we know that these are real people and nobody deserves to be brutally murdered or executed. We believe in mediation because we believe that if you could sit down together to agree or to disagree, both parties or all parties walk away and there's not a family on each side. There's one grieving, and then there's one also. Matter of fact, to me, I believe both of the families are grieving because then you have one family whose loved one is now gone, or whatever the case may be, and then you have another family that's fighting, or sticking by their family that committed the crime, the heinous act, or whatever the case may be. It's just really sad. And then the police brutality, you know, which is a whole nother breed, because unfortunately we know who the killers are, we know what they did, and most of the time they get, you know, qualified immunity, but they do harm and hurt to our community. And it's very sad and it's very disgusting. And we know too that a lot of people that are affected by police brutality and community violence, they don't all pass away. They don't all die, you know, and they're still victims. They're still victims, you know, and it's just sad. Like, it's a lot of victims of police brutality that, you know, are brutalized that we won't even never hear about, or even murder that we might don't even know about. You know, it's just sad. Or people that's on our community violence list that, you know, or didn't make it to the community violence list, that was like assaulted, beat up, brutalized, and things like that. And it's just sad. There's a lot of stuff going on. So though that we advocate on behalf of police brutality, we're still here for community violence as well. Like, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. You know, hurt is hurt. But it's a big difference. The difference is when oftentimes when police officers, people that's supposed to serve and protect, they're the ones serving us. You know, the bad ones are serving us death and serving us brutality, and they get away with it. You know, that badge gets them away with bloody murder or brutal assault, and it's horrible. You know, and the community violence, when you often see that, that's terrible as well. It's not like one's like, oh well, you know, this one didn't die because of an officer. Like, we're out there literally for everybody, and it's just sad. And for me to hear the sad stuff that's going on, for me literally to turn on the news in a way that the media is going and attacking everything is about teenagers. And I told you guys, I said once that happened with Freddie Gray, you know, that they were going to come for the babies, and now they're coming for them. But it's just sad that we got a lot of parents now that are not, you know, doing what they're supposed to do to make sure their teenagers are right. And it broke my heart the other day, yesterday, when I see a grandmother on the news and saying how she was assaulted by a 16-year-old. And then from my understanding, from what the media said, they said that the parent was right out there when the old lady was attacked. And at the end of the day, we don't know any details or anything, but it's just sad. Oh no, you know, it's just really sad. We're in really sad times, and I'm praying for everybody. Like, I'm praying for everybody. I'm even praying for the babies that are committing crimes and stuff like that. They need to get it together. Like, we just need to tighten up. So with that being said, we're going to take 2 minutes of silence. If you're into prayer, we ask that you submit a prayer. If you're just into just spending nothing but positive thoughts and just keeping these families in minds, because it's heartbreaking, you know, to see anyone on any type of sad list is disturbing. So with that being said, the time now, I believe it is 7:52. We will be back at 7:54. Mic check.
Mic check.
My check, the time now is 7:54. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to hand it over first, starting off with my brother Brian for our unfortunate community violence list, if there is any. My check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Yeah, we have about 8 names this week. A number of them are from times past, from last month, the 13th to 15th. These were people whose names were not released at the time, but we've now learned their names, and so we're going to lift them up now. Just because hard, I mean, we've been here talking about Nicole all this time. It's just like these deaths, the people, the families and the loved ones around them, these deaths are always front of mind for them. So the fact that it took a long time for us to get their names doesn't diminish our need to lift them up and recognize them. So, and then the last 3 that we have to recognize are more recent, the end of last month, and so we're just gonna lift them up, and there's still some blank spaces in the list. So as soon as we find out names, we will have them for you. So I ask you to just lift them up in honor of their lives, in honor of their loved ones, and in dedicating ourselves to this work. Stephen Wheeler, age 20.
Stephen Wheeler.
Kennard Miller, age 37.
Kennard Miller.
Mitchell Roan, age 33.
Mitchell Roan.
Cameron Page, age 23.
Cameron Page.
Jameel Judd, age 21.
Jameel Judd.
Antoine Burston, age 48.
Antoine Burston.
Chloe Weems, age 29.
Chloe Weems.
Yasmin Lee, age 28.
Yasmin Lee.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm turning it over to the police brutality list.
Okay. So again, we have 39 people whose lives were stolen by the police from the dates of November 16th through November 30th. The oldest was 78 and the youngest was 20. Again, like Brian said, let's think of all their families and community members of these folks whose lives were stolen. Can't even imagine. It's a lot. And just send them our love and light. So starting on November 16th in Walker, Montana, 37-year-old James Walter Wyhouse.
James Wyhouse.
On November 16th in Black Hawk, Indiana. Indiana. 47-year-old male, Benjamin Sink.
Benjamin Sink.
On November 17th in Port Angeles, Washington, 38-year-old male, Matthew Charles.
Matthew Charles.
On November 17th in Signal Mountain, Tennessee, 41-year-old Johnny Queen.
Queen.
On November 17th in Cincinnati, Ohio, 37-year-old male, Thomas Noble.
Thomas
Novel.
Also on the 17th in New York, 25-year-old male, Deshaun LaRode.
Deshaun
LaRode.
On November 17th in Washington, D.C., 25-year-old male, David Childs.
David
Childs.
On November 18th in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 62-year-old male, Albert Benson.
Albert Benson.
On November 18th in Marston, North Carolina, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks to kill a cop.
Ashe. On the 18th in Corona, California, 31-year-old male, and I'll try to say this right, Kiavik Miranda.
Kiavik Miranda.
Kiavik Miranda.
On the 19th in Lakeland, Florida, 41-year-old male, Kente Govin.
Kente
Govin.
On the 21st in Beresford, South Dakota, 36-year-old male, Christopher Pearson.
Pearson.
And on November 21st in St. Louis, Missouri, 31-year-old male, Darius Kennedy.
Darius Kennedy.
And now I will pass on to Kalia for the next piece of the list.
Thank you. Continuing, again on the 21st of November in Lafayette, Indiana, 50-year-old male, Rodolfo Requeñas Jr.
Rodolfo Requeñas
Jr.
Again on the 21st in Vero Beach, Florida, 37-year-old male, Michael Albertston.
Michael Albertston.
Again on the 21st in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, 23-year-old male, Jeremy Lawrence Jr.
Jr.
Moving on to the 22nd of November in Johnson City, Tennessee, 78-year-old male, James Owen Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Also on the 22nd in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 34-year-old male, Deontay Hawthorne. Again on the 22nd in Louisville, Kentucky, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks to kill cops.
On the 22nd in Evansville, Indiana, 58-year-old male, Everett Nunn.
Everett
Nunn.
On the 22nd in Burbank, California, 37-year-old male, Jose Alas.
Jose Alas.
On the 23rd in Houston, Texas, a 27-year-old male whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks to kill a cop.
Ashe. On the 23rd in Lucedale, Missouri, 42-year-old male, Nicholas Parker.
Nicholas
Parker.
On the 23rd in Tucson, Arizona, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks to kill a cops. Ashe.
On the 23rd in Guntersville, Alabama, 27-year-old male, Jack Smiley.
Jack
Smiley.
And again on the 23rd in Lynette, Alabama, a 27-year-old male, Jaja Davis Jr.
Jaja
Davis Jr.
And I'll pass the remainder of the list to Bill. Mic check.
Mic check. For anyone just, excuse me, for anyone just joining the live stream, we're reading the names of people killed by the police in the last 2 weeks of November. It's totally unacceptable that all these people's lives were lost, and we're upholding them by reading them aloud. On the 24th of November in Hillsborough, Texas, a man whose age is unknown and whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Oh, Bill, there's another name right before that.
Oh, thank you. Kedrick?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. My apologies. In Dallas, Texas, on the 24th, 31 years old, Kedrick McDonald.
Kedrick McDonald.
In Franklin, Indiana, on the 25th, 37 years old, Robert Bido.
Robert
Bido.
Robert Bido.
On the 25th in Roseville, California, 31 years old, Jacob Rushing.
Jacob Rushing.
Jacob Rushing.
In Inkster, Michigan, on the 26th, 37 years old, Julius Jones.
Julius
Jones.
And the next three people will be upholding, all don't have their ages listed yet. And in all three cases, their names have been withheld by the police. First among this group, from Greeley, Colorado, a man, but we don't, as I said, we don't know the name, and the police have not have not released the name.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. Second in this group of three in San Bernardino, California, on the 28th, another man.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. And in Vail, Arizona, the third among this group of three.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
On the 28th in Birmingham, Alabama, 26 years old, Jamal Williams.
Jamal
Williams.
In Ohio Township, Pennsylvania, on the 29th, 20 years old, much too young, Devin Russell.
Devin
Russell.
In Martha, Kentucky, on the 29th, a man whose age is not released, but whose name is Timothy Keaton.
Timothy
Keaton.
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, not far away from us, this is the only woman on the list for this 2-week period, 35 years old, Christina Miranda.
Christina Miranda.
And the final person mercilessly killed by the police, who we'll honor tonight, from Maryland Heights, Missouri. I think MO is Missouri. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That was on the 30th. And once again, it's a man whose age has not been released and whose name has been withheld by the police.
Cell blocks
for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. And back to you, Tawanda.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Uncle Bill, for that. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Brother Brian. Thank the whole entire West Coalition. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Big shout out again to my sister Angela for the beautiful gift. Thank you guys for everything. Remember, live to love, love to live. We love you all. We love you, our beautiful queen, Nicole Pettifor. Everybody say her name.
Nicole
Pettifor.
Yes, thank you guys. Live to love, love to live. And we will see you guys next West Wednesday. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life. And Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015. My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped. Case number 5. Unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said, police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the gun trace task force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.